Good morning, esteemed colleagues and delegates. Today, I want to share what I am learning from others in various fields about harnessing AI in our collective journey towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. One thing I want to say, just as a side note, we all know that AI will impact all of our societies and all of our sectors. So this year at the university, my leadership team and I, just as this 23rd Info Poverty Conference, we decided that we wanted our annual day. We have a day that's similar to a State of the Union in the United States, except it goes all day. And we decided, too, to tackle the theme of AI for our college because we know that there are lots of benefits as well as challenges. And so in an era where technology shapes the fabric of our societies, AI emerges not just as a tool, but as a catalyst for sustainable and inclusive growth. The other thing I want to mention is the University of Oklahoma Outreach is a member of the UN Academic Impact, which many of you know is an initiative to align institutions of higher education, scholarship, and research with the UN and with each other. In the brief time that I have with you this morning, what I've chosen to do is to cite an area of global need and then to say a little bit about what I'm learning from colleagues who are experts in those fields about how AI can address that, and more importantly, how that solution aligns with some of the sustainable development goals of the UN. So I'll start with this, and some of my colleagues prior to me have mentioned these, and so it really sounds like we're all on the same page. We know that globally, healthcare accessibility and quality is a global issue. I think this aligns very well with Sustainable Development Goal 3 of the UN, which focuses on good health and well-being. So what solutions will AI offer to address that sustainable development goal? What I am learning from other colleagues is that AI-powered platforms can enable remote diagnostics and consultations, making healthcare services accessible to remote and underserved areas. This technology can assist in detecting diseases early, monitoring health conditions, and providing expert consultations via the internet. What other solution for this global issue of healthcare accessibility and quality can AI provide? I am told by my colleagues in the field that AI can analyze vast and voluminous amounts of health data to predict disease outbreaks, enabling early intervention strategies. For instance, predicting the spread of infectious diseases like malaria can save lives through more timely action. One of the other global areas of need is education and learning. And for those of us who've been involved at all in any way with the UN, we know that education intersects with every sustainable development goal of the UN. And so as we think about the role of AI, education and learning, which is a global need, I think aligns very well with the Sustainable Development Goal of quality education. So what are just a few examples of what AI can bring to the table for that? As an educator myself, personalized learning is the first thing that we think about. AI can tailor educational content to meet the individual learning needs and pace of students, addressing the challenge that many face that many face of large, diverse classrooms where teachers may not be able to cater to individual needs effectively. What are some of the other solutions that AI brings? Many of you, from one of my partners who is here, saw the scannable code today. This code can be scanned to bring forth languages that are around the globe. If people wanted, for example, to listen or to see the written text in a language other than the language of English that I am speaking right now. And so when we think about language learning, AI-powered language tools can help break down language barriers, providing access to global knowledge and opportunities for personal and professional development. Another world or global issue, and one of my colleagues earlier mentioned this, agricultural productivity. I think this aligns extraordinarily well with SDG 2, which is zero hunger. AI technologies, my colleagues are telling me, can analyze data from satellite images, weather forecasts, and sensors in the field to provide farmers with precise information about when to plant, irrigate, and harvest crops. The benefit of that is that this can significantly increase agricultural productivity and sustainability. I'm just going to mention a few other examples so that other speakers can jump in. Also, another big global need is economic development. I think that this aligns well with Sustainable Development Goal 8, focusing on decent work and economic growth. And as our chair mentioned, this means all women, men, those with disabilities, and every group that we can imagine. So what can and how can AI impact that issue of economic development? AI, I'm told by those in the field of economics, can enable more inclusive financial services through things such as mobile banking, microfinance platforms, helping individuals in undeveloped countries gain access to credit, savings, and insurance products. There's also the support for SDG 9, which focuses on industry, innovation, and infrastructure. AI-driven platforms facilitating market access and smart infrastructure and planning are key to building resilient infrastructure, promoting inclusive and sustainable industrialization. Also, as I bring this to a close, I want to say that regardless of the sector that we find ourselves in, we know, and previous speakers mentioned this, that AI will bring both many benefits but many challenges. And so while the potential of AI to support human well-being in underdeveloped countries is significant, there are also challenges to consider, and I want to cite just a few of those before I close. The first that's been mentioned is the digital divide. We know that with the Sustainable Development Goals, number 10 is about reducing inequalities. So we must ensure that we provide equal and equitable access to AI technologies and the internet so that AI does not exacerbate inequalities, but actually helps us to reduce these inequalities with and among countries. Another challenge is data privacy and security. This aligns well with the Sustainable Development Goal of the UN, number 16, peace, justice, strong institutions. So in the process, we must also ensure that we are protecting individuals' data and ensuring that AI applications do not infringe on privacy rights. Because under that Sustainable Development Goal 16, we are talking about peaceful societies and effective, and the operative word there is accountable institutions. Another challenge is ethical and fair use, and Sustainable Development Goal 17, focusing on partnerships for the goals, is all about emphasizing collaborative efforts to address challenges and make AI technologies accessible and beneficial for all. I always like to say there is no I in team, and there's an old African proverb that many of you have probably heard. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. It is going to take all of us working together to address these challenges in a collaborative way. This will involve governments, NGOs, the private sectors, and communities. This is the only way I feel that we can ensure that AI technologies are accessible, inclusive, and beneficial to all. Thank you for your time this morning.